Hey guys, it's Trish, and welcome back to the channel. We're gonna talk about The Hunting Wives. This show had me, really questioning my own morals and my values because as I was watching this show, I realized my reaction to the characters were very different from everybody else's reactions to these characters, and I really was sitting here wondering, is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? The characters that I loved, I ain't have no business loving these crazy people. I didn't have no business loving the characters that I loved. And the ones that I should have been more empathetic towards, I was kind of like, okay, get this person off my screen. Why are you still here? People were going crazy about certain scenes, and I was just sitting there like, okay, ain't nothing crazy about this. Is it me? Am I the problem? Am I the issue? Because I don't see no issues with this. Am I a heathen? And let me know if it's me, because sometimes it is us, right? Like, and it's important to have people in your life to be like, ma'am, it's you. You the problem, ma'am. Okay, so first things first, the characters that I loved. Okay. I know y'all gonna think maybe I loved Sophie. Maybe it was Star. I loved me some Margot. Okay. I loved Margot to the moon and back. This lady was one of the most toxic human beings on this show. Okay. She was one of the most horrible people. And yet, I loved her down. I loved Margot. What is wrong with me? I don't know. Well, actually, I do know, okay? Because I had to do some internal processing because I was just like, I really was concerned for myself watching this show. I was concerned for me. Because I know better. And I was like, girl, when you know better, you're supposed to do better. So what you doing? I was concerned, okay? And I was really thinking about it and processing why it is that I fell in love with Margot so much. And I came to the conclusion, and maybe it's not good for you to be the one checking yourself, because are you going to check yourself the way you're supposed to check yourself? Maybe not. The problem investigated the problem and came up with the conclusion, okay, that I'm not that bad of a human being for supporting Margot. And this is why. I love characters, and let me know if you're similar. I love characters that are bold, that are headstrong, that are tough. Love when women are portrayed as strong, intelligent, bold, brave, brazen, tough, rough. Like, I just love that so much. I think it's because she's the opposite of me, right? Like, I have always been like this. I'm working on undoing this to a certain extent, not completely, but I am the good daughter, right? Like, I've always just been I follow the rules. I don't like confrontation. I do things the way they're supposed to be done. I am not impulsive at all. And I would say I'm not even very spontaneous. Like, I've done some things that on the outside look like I was spontaneous, but maybe, okay, this was months in the making. You just didn't know about it, okay? It seemed to come out of nowhere to you because I didn't tell you what I was planning on doing. But you better believe sis had planned what's going to happen from A to Z, okay? And then I got backup A1 through Z1 plans, okay? And then I got the backup to the backup A2 through Z2. Like, that's how I am. And so that is why I love characters that are bold and brave and spontaneous. And Margot is that she says what she means, and she means what she says. Okay. I love that about her. She is so blunt. She's blunt. She's in your face. She's brazen. It's like the audacity that this woman had. Okay. This woman has some audacity. It was mind blowing. Like, there was one instance, oh my God, when she was asked, what did Sophie ask her? She was like, why are you cheating on your husband? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing the things that you're doing? I mean, do you guys have an open marriage? Is that why? And Margot shut that ish down. Margot was like, Democrats. And I love that she said it in her little twang, her little Texas twang. She said, Democrats have open marriages. We don't do that. Our sis said we don't do open marriages. That's for them Democrats. Okay, they out here doing that. It's just like, I can't. Like, she is the audacity. The audacity. Sis said Republicans don't have open marriages, okay? Republicans have friends that they have fun with in their marriages. It's so, the audacity. Like, I can't. I was cracking up when she said that. And you know what? It reminded me, now let me tell you this story right quick, okay? It reminded me of a time when there was conversation. This was around the time that they were legalizing MJ for censorship purposes. There was this Republican man from the South, and he was saying how Republicans don't smoke that. Okay. He said it with his chest. He said Republicans don't smoke that. That's Democrat activity, okay? Because Republicans are God-fearing, good Christian people. And God-fearing, good Christian people don't do stuff like that. It's the Democrats. I remember just being like, okay. He literally said that. He was like, yeah, no, that's a Democrat thing. Okay, Republicans don't do that. And I was just like, I'm pretty sure. In my mind, I didn't say it out loud now because I wasn't about to argue with him over his opinion and his perspective. Like, that's cool, that's fine. But I'm like, in my mind, I'm pretty sure there are Republicans out there that smoke something, that do stuff. But he said it with such conviction, like, nah. When I heard Margot say that line, I've had my own encounter with somebody who thinks like that, and it had me cracking up. Okay, and then oh my God, and then when she was asked, "Then why do you do it?" and then she goes, "Because I want to, and it's fun." I was like, "Say what you mean and mean what you say." Okay, she said, I do it because I want to. I do it because I can. And I don't know, y'all. What is wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Why was I loved this lady. I loved her character. Loved Margot. I loved Jill. Jill, the pastor's wife. I loved her. Jill don't play. See, the thing with Jill was like that type of bold where you think that maybe there's a chance you can mess with her, but you learn very quick. You can't. Like, she gonna put you in your place real quick. Okay. And her nice little pastor's wife, Southern gal way, she gonna shut that down. And I just loved these two characters. I did. I was rooting for them. I love them on my screen. I know y'all gonna come for me. Y'all gonna say this is ridiculous, especially since you're a mental health professional. What are you doing? what are you doing? But remember, I'm gonna be real with y'all. They were deeply flawed characters, okay? Hot mess express characters, okay? Did stuff that you should not be doing, okay? Don't get me wrong. I don't want anybody to actually be like them. Okay, if I had kids, I don't want them. I don't want them to end up like them. But as just fictional characters on my TV screen for entertainment purposes, I was highly entertained with Miss Margot and Miss Jill. Those were my two favorite characters on the show, hands down. Loved them up. Okay. I think the reason why I didn't resonate with the characters that maybe I should have resonated with, when I watch a television show, a lot of times I'm watching it for escape, right? I'm watching it because I want to get away from like everyday stuff. I want to rest, right? I want to cozy up and practice some softness, like eat my popcorn and sip on my like tea or like my latte and just like relax. And I don't find fragile womanhood entertaining. I'm not entertained by seeing women that are fragile, that are being hurt, that are being used, that are being abused, that are being mistreated. Like, I don't find that entertaining, right? It irritates me, it makes me angry, it frustrates me, it pisses me off. I didn't enjoy watching that as much as crazy old Margot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't enjoy what was happening with Sophie as much as I enjoyed, ridiculous old Jill. Like, I just don't find that entertaining. I don't know. I don't love fragility in womanhood on my screens. I don't see it as entertainment. And I definitely do think that stories do need to be told. And so I'm happy that they did have those characters, right? Because stuff like that is important. The story needs to be told, but I just don't love watching that play out as much as I love watching a bold, brave, headstrong, like woman, Hopefully that makes sense what I'm trying to say. Because I think for most people, Margot and Jill are not the characters that they loved, right? Like, they would not say that those were their favorite characters. But anyway, with that being said, there's a couple of things though that Margot and Jill did that I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So I'm pretty open. There's very little that like shocks me. There's very little, that I can't see. There's very little things that I can't watch. Okay. There's very little things that will evoke emotion in me to the point that I'm like disgusted or grossed out and so forth and so forth. But I draw the line for me when it comes to like kids. And so Margot and Brad, even though he's 18 years old, I don't know. I don't think a grown 40-something-year-old woman, probably even older, but she's at least 40-something years old. 18, that's wild work. That's crazy. I ain't like that. And Jill, I feel Jill had this relationship with Brad, her son. I don't think Jill really understood that was her son and not her husband. Like, and it's crazy because even though I didn't enjoy that, I think it was very important to show, right? Because I think that when it comes to young boys, a lot of these things happen. Grooming happens, and there's these inappropriate relationships, I think, that adults have with them that society doesn't touch upon and society doesn't talk about. We see it discussed more in society with young girls. So I guess people just assume it doesn't happen with boys, but I didn't like that. And I also was not a huge fan of the youth pastor and what he was doing to the girls on the show. And so, yeah, I could have done without those, but it was so important to show, and it was so important to put out there, because it's true. right? These things happen. These things happen. And I think with that being said too, that's why this show, I think, was so good, because it shed light on almost every facet of society that is problematic. It shed light on it. The characters were going through so many things that are swept under the rug in our society. And this show was kind of like allowing viewers to be flies on the wall to see an example of how these are playing out behind closed doors. And that, I think, was very genius, and it was very brilliant because it touched on everything. I'm talking about immigration, racism, sexism, like SA, self-ending, sexuality, you name it, like DV. Oh my God, there was the politics, religion, like you name it, grooming, you name it. It touched on everything. I think it also did a great job at humanizing people. Each of the characters, no matter what it is that they were doing that may have made them the villain, the characters were humanized. You got to see why they became what they became, how they became what they became, like what was happening. And I think by doing that just showed kind of like the full human experience, right? Like Brad, you know, on the surface, he comes off like this arrogant 18-year-old boy, right? And the way that he was treating his girlfriend Abby was horrible, right? But then you get to know that he is a victim as well. It humanized him, right? Even with Margot, like we see how she grew up. We see some of the things that she had to go through. And even when, you know, she was cheating on her husband, he's poopy. He's a poopy man. Even with Jill, you know, she's married to a pastor, and the pastor is not empathetic. He's not kind. He's just like not a good man. You see kind of like the human side of her. Another thing that had me really questioning myself, the scenes, the love scenes. Like, y'all, before watching this show, I don't know what I was going to see. I don't know what I was going to see, honey, because people were like, this is crazy. Their jaws were on the floor. People like couldn't, they were just like, oh my God, this is the wildest show ever. It was too much, and I can't with the love scenes, and da 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 da. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm about to see some insane stuff. I was mentally prepared to see the most deviant, like, things on the planet, honey. I was just like, oh my God. I was like, I'm not gonna watch it on my TV. I'm gonna watch it on my laptop with my earphones, okay? My earplugs in, just in case somebody walking by my house. I don't want them to call the popo and think that something crazy is happening in my apartment through my TV screen. Like, I really was on something like, this must be the worst of the worst of the worst of the worst, right? Y'all, why not none of them love scenes did a darn thing? I was just sitting there like, this is what everybody was talking about. Am I a deviant? Like, do I need to pray? Do I need to pray? I think I'm the problem. Cause I don't see no problems. Like, it was just regular stuff to me. And I don't know if I'm desensitized, maybe. I don't know what it is. I think for me, being in the social service / public service field for 17 plus years, I've done heard it all. I've done seen it all. Like, and I think people who are in social services probably had similar reactions, right? So if you, as a career, were in public service or social service work, so, you know, therapists, mental health counselors, case managers, parole, you know, parole officers, police officers, paramedics, EMS personnel, shelter workers, prison officers, firefighters, nurses, doctors. Like I think we just done seen it all, that we're able to maybe handle a lot more stuff than other people are able to handle. Because I was looking at them scenes, I'm just like, this is what y'all was going crazy over? You can't watch? Like, it's too much for you? You can't watch this? And people who are talking about their husbands, they can't watch this with their husbands, and they're so ashamed and they're so embarrassed to watch this with their husbands. I was just like, really? You probably do these things with your husband. Like, what? Are people not doing these things with their husbands? They're not going uptown and downtown. Like, what is happening? Like, everybody don't have their own DJ set. Like, what is going on? Like, why? I don't understand these reactions. Like, okay, granted, there were some things, okay, like the police chief. I'm sure a lot of people not doing that with their husband. And maybe some people are. No judgment here, police chief man. I don't know what he was. Was he the police chief, town sheriff, the sheriff, the chief? I don't know what he was, but I hear that. Get it how you like it. Get it how you like it. You know, like, no judgment here. So, but there was a lot of things. I don't know, man. I think I'm just really desensitized because I've been in social services for so long. And I think also too, because, you know, part of my career, I worked doing counseling and therapy for people who are survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault and trafficking. So I think maybe that's why there's like, I've heard far worse things from my clients. A lot of things are hush hush, and a lot of things are just kind of like hidden away, and they're taboo, and they're not talked about, they're not seen, they're not discussed. And so maybe that's what was happening. But y'all, I came prepared. Like, I was just like, oh my God, like, I'm about to see, I don't know what I thought I was gonna see, the way everybody was talking about them love scenes and how like unbelievable they are. I thought I was gonna, and I was sitting there, when I got to the end of episode 8, I'm like, what? Like, I didn't see nothing that had people saying they can't continue to watch, and they had to turn off the TV, and they had to stop watching, and they couldn't take it, and they couldn't see it, and they were so embarrassed, and they couldn't watch it with their husbands. And I'm just like, what in the world? Y'all swapping bodily fluids and you can't watch this together? Like, I just, ciao. Anyway, I liked this show. I thought it was cute. I'm definitely gonna watch season 2 probably. Well, let me take that back. Cute is not a word to describe The Hunting Box, okay? It was not a cute show. Let me take that back. I did like the show. I will watch season 2. I think that it touches on so many topics, so many issues that need to be discussed, that are too hush hush. And if we don't talk about these things, if we don't expose these things, if we don't have discussions about these things, we can't make changes. And so, and I think we need to know what they look like. We need to have these discussions. So I thought it was great for that. And, you know, if you are a heathen like me, apparently, okay, you gonna love this show, because Margot is a hot mess. Jill is a hot mess. And I guess we need to pray. Okay, we need to pray. That is it, y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. If you liked this and hearing my thoughts and my opinions on this show, I do commentary, right? Because I am a big component of resting and softness and peace and joy. And part of what I like to do to practice those things is I love binge watching like docuseries and documentaries and TV shows and stuff like that. So as I'm watching things, I will come on and give you guys my 2 cents, okay? My 2 cents, my 2 pennies. And if you like hearing my 2 pennies, join the tribe so you can hear more of it, okay? And in addition to doing commentary on shows that I'm watching, I also have a mental health podcast. And then I also do fragrance reviews on Fridays because fragrances make me feel pretty. I'm about to go put some fragrance. Actually, I did put fragrance on, but I feel like I need to put more. So I'm about to go like spray some more on me. Even though I ain't going out today. It's okay. Because we do it for us. Smelling good is for us, not for other people. Okay? So I do my fragrance reviews on Fridays. And then any other place you can find me is in the description section. All right. That's it, y'all. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.